Welcome again for another episode or series of environmental dialogue here at UCTV. You know, we are always here every Wednesday from 8 to 9 p.m. to discuss matters concerning climate change and environment. So today we have a very critical discussion or maybe topic to explore together, and know that things to do with environment, UCTV is not always leaving you behind. At least brings you every information that's happening here at the Pearl of Africa. That's the reason why we are always everywhere in this part of the country discussing things to do with climate change. And you know, as we gear up for the World Environment Day, we know other people know, yes, 5th of June. 5th of June we had the global celebration, but as we Ugandan, that we know that we never had to reschedule that date because of the national importance, some of the things that the government was trying to address. That's why the date was rescheduled to 25th of June this month in Kabale. It's still the same venue, same place, and they are still doing certain activities, restoration activities in western part of Uganda. So NEMA is not sleeping, and even that's why they are asking that you cannot only wait for the date, but you can also engage your community or yourself in growing a tree. You know, we say that not planting but growing a tree. With growing, you put passion to it, you protect it, and that's the reason why we are here. And you have seen that this time in Uganda Matters Day, things were different. The message was environment. That's why characters through their leadership had to spear that, and they did really a credible job well done. At least people now, the Christians, are understanding things to do with the environment, and that's the reason why Caritas cannot sleep. They are always there to make sure the church is also awake and they protect the environment. And today, you know that also the Uganda Kingdom, they are celebrating also, they are continuing with their celebration of Uganda Kingdom Environmental Day, and today they are in Ulemezi, trying to engage the community and involving even the cathedral, different type of people, and you know, engaging in restoration in Bulemezi area. And we know that that's a very good thing for the cultural institutions to engage themselves in environmental initiative. And we welcome even other cultural institutions to come and join this initiative, because this is what we need. And again, in line with the topical discussion that we are going to discuss today, we are going to digest today with my guest is about the policy issues in Uganda today. You know that on 29th of May 2025, Ministry of Water and Environment launched the Uganda National Climate Change Regulation, which some people call it the climate change mechanism or the carbon market, which we all know. This thing was something which was a big issue by where people who are in a carbon credit, they have been complaining of that they are cheated in the global market because there was not a framework. But the government this time brought it upon them and said that now we can now do something to protect you. So which is a credit to the government. We give really credit to Permanent Secretary, that's the Dr. Alfred Okidi and the team and the CCD department for at least standing up for that thing, that we know that at least our people, the farmers, are protected. Also the young people who are involved in the carbon credit, they are protected. So that's it. So today I bring for you a young person, a female who is so passionate about the climate change, and they have involved themselves in very many initiatives in areas to do with environment. And she's here to articulate and to see that how far has Uganda achieved in line with policy issues or the climate policy issues. And she has involved herself so much into policy dialogue and also representing different organizations in this issue. So without waste of time, let me welcome my guest today to introduce herself to the viewers. Thank you. You're most welcome.
Thank you so much, Dickens. Well, I'm really glad to be here today, and I want to applaud UCTV for hosting me. My name is Mirembe Winnie, and I am a passionate climate action advocate from here, Kampala, Uganda, and I serve in Nakawa Division. And at the parish level, I'm the secretary, and I'm glad to also serve as the secretary of the advocacy structure at Nakawa Division. Then also an advocacy champion at Network for Active Citizens. And then I'm also glad to serve the Buganda in the Buganda Youth Council, and I'm the Nantebe Buganda Youth Council, Mumyuka, that is Mbuya 1 and Mbuya 2. Then also on the executive of the Buganda Youth Council, Nakawa Division, I serve as the one in charge of agriculture, water and environmental conservation. Then also I happen to serve as a youth advisor on the Youth Advisory Board of Plan International. I'm the elected female youth. I was elected in 2024, so we are serving from 2024 to 2025.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, you can continue maybe.
Yes, then also also a founder of a youth-led community-based organization that is located in Mbuya 2, and it's called Mbuya 2 Community Development Network. So it's an initiative that is into climate action advocacy, wash issues, wash mitigation, water sanitation and hygiene, and we have climate adaptation solutions. Our strategies are on beating plastic pollution. So we have innovations on adding value to plastic, plastic bottles. We make jewelry from plastic. We also make ornamentals, interior decoration from all around waste, glass waste, agricultural waste. We make eco-friendly briquettes in our green energy for women and youth resilience. So I'm really glad to be here and hoping to have an effective dialogue, sharing more on policies and what we've been doing in budget advocacy. Yeah, ensuring that there is priority for funding for green initiatives and the work of the young people in the communities in regards to climate action.
Oh, thank you, Winnie. Thank you for your time and thanks for coming at UCTV. My dear viewers of Ada, that's why always I urge you not to touch your dial. Stay tuned and listen to this discussion, especially from a young climate activist, a CEO of ourselves. Wow.
And then also, I forgot to say, I'm also as elected budget champion for Nakawa Division in the Near to Youth project. That was 2023 until now. So when it comes to budget advocacy, ensuring funding and priority for green initiatives, climate financing, green financing, that's where I am. Yeah.
Wow. So you have had us. So you need to prepare your pen and a book to write all the information, some of the lessons that you can ask. And for those people who miss discussion, share with them. You know, we have a YouTube channel for UCTV Environment Dialogue. You can go and watch, you comment, you share the discussion. So today, when we bring about, with all this experience that you've involved yourself in this dialogue, this initiative, with especially with the young people, with the women, in different spaces. So what do you really understand by climate change policy? And why do we need this climate change policy, especially in place that we are demanding for? Can't we carry out maybe our, maybe we, as you have been, I've seen you're making briquettes and all that, and I've seen that you've also been involving yourself with Network for Active Citizens, who have tried to shape the youth and bring the youth into different CSO villas and empowering them. So why do we need this? And what the first question is, what do you understand by this climate change policy that everyone has been asking for? What's climate change policy? Yeah.
All right, thank you, Dickens. So as I earlier said, I'm an advocacy champion and a Network for Active Citizens, that's NAC. And NAC has really done a lot when it comes to Kampala, Greater metropolitan areas, Greater Kampala metropolitan areas, the ghettos, the slums, the K-zones, Katwe, Kawempe, Chinawataka, Chirombe. These are slum areas, ghetto areas where NAC has influenced impact when it comes to engaging with stakeholders. It has organized community youth parliaments to understand the issues that are affecting the communities, and seeing that young people articulate these issues before stakeholders to understand, yes, this is what is affecting us in regards to climate change, the flooding, what have floods really done to us. We've seen a lot when it comes to drought, limited access to funding, limited knowledge on green skills, such issues that need to be articulated before stakeholders to understand. Yes, and we also appreciate the fact that NAC has trained advocates advocates in the communities, equipped them with skills on how to provoke action, on how to speak in regards to certain issues. So I really applaud NAC, and there's also something that was brought when it comes to establishing green spaces. Funding has been given to establishing green spaces through the CISU fund, and then implementations to the different K zones. So this fund has really helped. When it comes to public green spaces, we've seen that in Kampala, there are limited public green spaces, and these are really essential when it comes to climate adaptation and mitigation. Green spaces help to mitigate the climate crisis. When we see the carbon emissions in the city, the cars that we have that use petrol, these ones emit a loss. And we need these green spaces because there are trees. In a public green space, it has trees, and these trees help to absorb the carbon dioxide that comes from these emissions. Yeah, and also when we see that Kampala generates over 2,000 tons of waste on a daily, and it's this waste that goes to the landfills, and that's where methane is produced. Waste that is not sorted, it's mixed waste, agricultural waste, plastic waste, everything is in there, and this is where methane is produced. And we understand that methane is really more prone than carbon dioxide. It is a greenhouse gas. So how do we mitigate this greenhouse gas? On reducing the waste that goes to the landfills, and as well with the public green spaces. And the other thing NAC has done is supporting the green initiatives. Initiatives in waste management. With my initiative as well, it's been supported by Network for Active Citizens under my CBO that I started in Buyatu. So in waste upcycling, reducing plastic waste. And even grateful to God that this year's theme for the celebration of the Environment Day on 5th June, it's on beating plastic pollution. And beating plastic pollution needs quite a number of innovations. And it's what the young people are doing in the different communities. Adaptation strategies on mitigating this, and also climate adaptation strategies mitigating the plastic crisis, and as well adaptation ways. So my initiative is on climate adaptation, on adapting to the plastic that is in the environment. And as well, we have initiatives that are mitigating the plastic crisis. For example, the bamboo initiative. So making cups from bamboo, bottles from bamboo, instead of using plastic. So there's this alternative that is sustainable. But yet still, as we still advocate for policies on production of sustainable, eco-friendly packaging materials, we have strategies that are on adapting this. So we have people who are making pavers from plastic, jewelry from plastic, interior decoration from plastic. So these really are key in influencing action and seeing that we are adapting to this plastic pollution crisis. So I really applaud the Network for Active Citizens, and it's the reason why I'm here today, being hosted by UCTV and Dickens. Yeah, so that's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we have you've talked about the air quality coming out of methane, and we are talking about now the carbon credit also in place. And last year we saw also under NEMA even launched the National Air Quality Act, which was passed, and now this time we are seeing also Ministry of Water and Environment launching also the National Climate Change Regulation.
Yes.
According to you, do you think that this regulation will work, or will help the people like you who are involved in those carbon credit initiative? Do you think that will help the young people and also the farmers out there?
Yes, it will really help, because now we have a roadmap on how we will be supported. Yes, if it's made clear on how green initiatives are going to be supported, how do you benefit from this when you engage this? This is really essential, because now there's a way it intrigues the young people to participate, because now you know how you're going to benefit. But there's a way if you're not given priority, if it's laid back, if it's not made clear, you do not know how you participate, and you do not know how it will benefit. So I really appreciate that it has been made. And also when you asked about policies, still the way programs and projects are shaped to see that there's effective and meaningful participation of the young people when it comes to being solutions to the climate crisis. So these are helping us to be really effective implementers of environmental solutions. Yeah.
Okay then, thank you Winnie for that. We have seen you involve yourself in policy dialogue and also coming up with position paper, especially with the help of Network
for Active Citizens.
Network for Active Citizens. So now, and the young people, there are other people who are there, they are struggling with other policy issues, which is affecting also their projects. So according to you, how can, because a young person is out there who is watching us right now, is asking, how can I come up with a policy that I know that I can influence the government to support? Since you're one of the young people whom I've seen really participated in all these policies, so how can the young people out there really get to know, understand all this dynamic of policy influence?
Thank you so much. Now to the young person out there watching, when it comes to policy, you need to have a policy issue, a problem that is affecting. Now for us who are in climate action, environmental conservation, those issues, those challenges that are affecting communities in regards to the climate crisis. So you identify a policy need. So from a need, that's where you can come up with a solution. What can we do? Because when it comes to advocating for a policy need, you need to understand that real issue. You go and make research, have data, be equipped with information, because the advocacy we do is evidence-based. You need to have evidence, really. Where does that issue come from? For example, an issue on waste management. Yes, KCCA is not responding timely. When it comes to the solid waste ordinance, it says that the collecting agency will be sharing a schedule on when to the households in the different communities on when they are going to come for the waste, on what time, what day. But right now, in my community, personally, I've never seen KCCA come with a schedule on when they are going to collect the waste. When is that going to be? How can I sort my waste? So this is a really policy need. Yes, we appreciate that it's there in writing, but it's not working when it comes to implementation. Yes, so when I identify this need, then that's when I need to put it into action. So I really appreciate NAC still, because we organize community dialogues and as well stakeholders dialogues to inform stakeholders like KCCA that these are the gaps really missing when it comes to service delivery, when it comes to coming for the waste. So that's how you start identifying a need. Then the other way you can identify a need, you understand the flow of things in government when it comes to the budgeting process. Of course, there's a time we have budget calls, circular calls, consultations, and the communities need to be engaged in the consultations. We need to also air out our issues that are affecting us so that we shape the budget of the next financial year. But if we are not consulted, if we are not asked for government to understand, local government to understand what they should prioritize in the different financial years, then there's really a gap. So that's a need for advocacy. I need to air out to the stakeholders. So right now, if we are not consulted, even last year when it came to the financial year 2023 to 2024, now 2024 to 2025, we didn't see any consultations at the community level. Then what if you're serving us, but yet you're not involving us, then what are you doing? We believe that there's nothing you can do for the community without the community. There's nothing you can do for the youth without the youth. That is meaningful participation of the young people. Meaningful participation of the community is when you engage them in the decision-making processes in the different financial years. So when we see that gap between us, the community, and local government, that's the time we air out together with a Network for Active Citizens. We engage KCCA and we inform them about this, that the young people need to be engaged. Because now when it comes to climate financing, the different programs that are shaping a sustainable future for us, like the PDM, the Parish Development Model, it is there, but I remember there's a time I asked, like, we are doing these initiatives in waste upcycling, there are these initiatives in waste management, and I was told, no, it's not your time for you guys. For us, we are doing abemidala, eh? Yes, abemidala. So for you guys, it's not a time. I'm like, why are we sidelining green initiatives? Because right now, the greatest environmental threat we are facing right now in our time is climate change. So we need to prioritize actions for climate. Initiatives in waste management, in renewable energy. These should be key when it comes to the different policies that government is doing. The PDM should also finance initiatives like the ones we are doing, the ones in mitigating the climate crisis, like the bamboo initiatives, our initiatives in beating plastic pollution, in reducing waste. Young people are really doing a lot, like the ones of urban farming. NAC is supporting urban farmers in the community. But what are the urban farmers using? They use agricultural waste, food waste to make organic manure. They use all around waste from the house, like the things we use in our house, the food that is left over to prepare soil for planters. Personally, in my initiative, we design plastic planters that we use for urban farming, compelling ones that we design from plastic bottles that have been discarded, from basins, the old clothes. We do not allow them to go to waste. We use them, we add value to them so that we reduce on the waste that is going to the landfills. So if you sideline us, yet we are doing an initiative that is helping us to protect the environment, ensure that our environment, our communities are waste-free, which is helping us to be healthy, more healthy, even mitigating the flood crisis. Right now, we understand that whenever it rains heavily, some people do not know how to manage waste. Some discard of waste into the drainage channels. Now, if it rains so heavily, the waste clogs the drainage channels, and water can't go in or flow in very well. So it leads to flooding. But if we are doing initiatives that help us to we collect the waste from the community, we repurpose. That means there is no waste that is going to the drainage channels. That means we are helping to adapt to the flooding effect. And also with a challenge, I need to air this out. Yeah, when it comes to climate resilience, our infrastructures in the city, some of them have not been resilient enough to accommodate the climate shocks. When you look at our drainage channels, mostly, now for me, I come from Biatu Nakawa division. Some of the drainage channels in Katogo, in Thailand, these are ghetto areas. They are not resilient enough. They are not deep enough. They are so narrow. So we understand it rains erratically and heavy rains because of the climate crisis. So when it rains like this, the drainage channels cannot accommodate the large sums of water that come from these heavy rains. So it leads to flooding as well. So these infrastructure issues are really also key. So this is how you identify as a young person. If you see this flooding, what has caused flooding? Yes, if it's waste, now also seeing our infrastructures are not resilient enough. This is how you start coming up with a policy need. Yeah. Yes.
Oh. Or you have had, I know that I believe that someone is there really enjoying this discussion so much. I think that before we go for short commercial break, I'll ask just to know that now. What are this? Because like after coming up, identifying those issues and all, and the young people say that going to those, especially you need. Other people look at it as something that you need a lot of money or a lot of funding to do all this. According to your experience, does it need like a lot of funding to go all these steps until you like meeting the committee of parliament who are in charge of natural resources, or there is another way that a young person can overcome all these challenges?
All right, thank you so much for that question. So not everything is about money.
Okay.
First of all, if you are passionate about something, it will really be evident. If you're passionate about climate action, if you're passionate about policy, if you're passionate about budgeting, it will be evident even in your articulations. And even for someone who is ambitious, they take action. If you're passionate, you take a step to read if it's about climate change, you desire to read about climate change. What are the solutions? What is being done? Understand the IPCC, understand what is happening, what's the climate adaptation plan of your country. We have the Kampala City Climate Adaptation Strategy. You desire to seek out for this. They are online. So you go and read, understand the NDP4, what is it talking about, climate action. So with this, you start to grow in knowledge. And the more you start to grow in knowledge, you start coming up with solutions, ideas, innovations on how you can deliver. And if you do this, someone will spot you. Someone will see you without the money, without investing a lot of money. But because you're investing in yourself, you start to grow. You start to become a solution. And whenever you become a solution, people will seek out for you. We need solution givers. If you're not a solution giver, then they won't seek out for you. So if you have innovations and initiatives, ideas that are in climate action, and you're growing in that knowledge, definitely Dickens will see you and be like, you know, I have a conference, it's on this and this. Would you love to participate? Yes, I have a TV show, an environmental TV show. Would you love to be hosted? So when you're hosted, you'll be able to share your knowledge on what you have. So in that's how you start making the money. It's not like you need to have money to do certain things. And personally, me as a person, when I came up, the time I came up with the innovative waste upcycling solution, it was because I wanted to do something. I was in the community network for active citizens, gives us data collection tools. So we have the YGB app, you go in the community, youth go budget app. So you go in the community and ask community members questions on what is really affecting them and what they need to be done. So in that, when you're in the community, you get to understand the needs of the community. So in understanding the needs of the community, you come up with what? A solution. That's how I came up with my waste upcycling initiative on making jewelry, because there's a lot of plastic in the drainage channels, open dumping, quite a lot, and some people were burning the waste, which is really so sad. Burning plastic. It is so fatal that some of the plastic types, we have HDPE, PET, and we have PVC. And when you burn PVC, it emits a poisonous gas that is called dioxin, and this is so cancerous. It is so cancerous. So if you go out in the community and you begin to understand these issues, you come up with a solution, and this solution will give you money. Will give you money. Yes, so you don't need to have the money, but you can use your passion to do an action that will bring in the money. Yes.
All right then, thank you, Winnie. Just like the saying goes that when you do nothing, money does not follow a person who is doing nothing. Money follows a person who is doing something. Yeah. So you better do something for money to follow you, because money does not follow people who are doing nothing. Yeah. All right then. Then also, let me go for a short commercial break to make money for my people who want to always support us, support the program. Let us go, and we shall be back shortly. Thank you very much.
UCTV, good news for all. Do more with Center Mobile app. Move with your bank and pay water bills, school fees, pay light, withdraw or deposit money, pay for DSTV or GoTV, pay for Star Times, open app accounts, get loans, and so much more. Download the Center Mobile app on Google Play Store or App Store now. For more information, call our toll-free line or chat with us on WhatsApp. Centenary Bank. Centenary Bank is a member of the Center Group regulated by Bank of Uganda. Customer deposits of up to 10 million shillings are protected by the Deposit Protection Fund of Uganda.
Tiene que soñar.
Hello and welcome to UCTV. Welcome to Connect with Mary.
You're the Alpha and the Omega.
The
Catholic Television. I'm Sunday Gloria Aboch with UCTV News.
We need people to pay for content.
Bernardo Silva, Matheus Nunes, and Haaland!
Swings it across to Christie.
UCTV, good news for all.
Support the Uganda Catholic Television with MTN Momo. Step 1. Dial *165*3#. Step 2. Enter merchant code 180572. Step 3. Enter any amount from 500 Uganda shillings. Step 4. Pay using MTN mobile money. Step 5. Enter PIN code and send. Step 6. You will receive a confirmation text for supporting the Uganda Catholic Television.
Ronaldo down in the area, penalty!
Don't miss the sports link on UCTV. Catch us every Monday to Friday from 3:30 to 4:30 p.m. as we take you into the thrilling world of sports in football.
And Messi! Thuram! Mbappe!
Saka shoot, deflects in, Arsenal have the lead!
Netball,
Nasanga taking the shot. And look at that exceptional steal.
motorsports, boxing, swimming and much more. UCTV Sports Link with Samgenza Mustafa. Only on UCTV. Good news for all.
Kuleza Farm with Centenary Bank agribusiness solar loan of up to 50 million shillings for a solar-powered irrigation system on your farm. Enjoy a grace period tailored to your cash flows and loan offer amounts from 100,000 up to 50 million Uganda shillings with flexible loan periods up to 60 months. Apply for a Centenary Bank agribusiness solar loan through our branches, agents, and enjoy a fixed interest rate of just 1.7% per month. Kuleza Farm with Centenary Bank agribusiness solar loan today and watch your farming dreams come to life. Visit any of our nearest branch today or call our toll-free line 0800 200 555 or 0800 335 344.
Centenary Bank.
Centenary Bank is a member of the Center Group regulated by Bank of Uganda. Customer deposits of up to 10 million shillings are protected by the Deposit Protection Fund of Uganda. Terms and conditions apply.
This week, your favorite program, Moment of Encounter.
UCTV, good news for all.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. I hope you enjoyed the break. Shortly, you went, at least you did something, then you're back. So welcome back. We are still here for the topical discussion of the climate change policy here in Uganda. I told you that we are here as to drive this so that everyone across the world, they understand the climate perspective. Since the church has come out to spearhead this, to support the government in this discussion, and as knowledge has always been, something that people have been struggling to attain. And I always tell people that, the biggest disease that we have here in Africa is ignorance. That has destroyed people more than HIV, AIDS, more than Ebola, more than the floods which we are saying. Speaking of discussing all the, that other say, this and this or whatever. No, it's ignorance. So that's the reason why we have come up with such programs like this, so that you are informed, you get knowledge, and you understand what takes place in the part of Africa. All right then, let me get back to our topical discussion that we are still here with Winnie. Trying really is that the discussion is so interesting, and I believe people are understanding this. All right, when you have spoken of all these other, all these initiatives that you're doing, the activities of the policy, coming up with all these policy statements. But do you think that really my question is, what are the challenges that we are still facing in Uganda in relation to climate policy? Because we have seen the NEMA has come up with the National Air Quality Act, or Ministry of Water this time have come up also, has responded, because it was all called to action by the community, trying at least to front something, and get the government about all these policy issues, because they feel that they were cheated with some of their initiative that was which was entrepreneurial. So now with all this, what are really the challenges that you see that the young people and also people who are running different projects and the farmers that are facing really in relation to the climate change policy?
Yeah, all right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the question. Even before we went in for the short break, as airing in an issue whereby, okay, still in regards to the challenges we are facing as young people when it comes to policy implementation. Yes. Now, I mentioned it earlier that, there is that inclusion gap.
Yeah.
Whereby there are policies being made, yes, but then are the young people included in the making of the policies? When you make something, it is made for us, for the community, but then we are not included. And then after dissemination of knowledge about these policies, there's still that gap, whereby there are policies that are existing, but we do not know, young people do not know, community members do not know what is happening in these policies. But if there is information dissemination for people to understand the different policies on air quality, how do you manage your waste? I was reading the solid waste ordinance, and there's quite a lot, even the one of NEMA, and even the KCCA climate adaptation plan. And there's a section that is talking about creating awareness. But government should show us how they are creating awareness. There's still that gap in implementation. And then also, coming to the community, knowing that I shouldn't ban waste. It's about people like Network for Active Citizens, people, CD initiatives, the young advocates that are in the community. They are the ones that are pushing for the things, ensuring there is community awareness on climate change, understanding how you can preserve, conserve the environment, on how you should handle waste when it comes to waste sorting, waste segregation, the plastic alone, the food waste alone. This is really a gap, and we are doing it as us, and government is just sidelining. It's not coming to participate, and it's our ample desire that government also comes in. The LC councillors, LC3s, LC5s who are representing us at council level, at the district.
But some of them don't understand maybe things to do with the environment.
Okay, yeah.
That's why this time I've seen even some of them now are put even now the slogan of the environmental perspective in the poster campaigns.
Yes, when it also comes to teaching them, they should. Actually, some of the things that have been really traumatizing me is because as an advocacy champion, I've been presenting position papers, issue papers that have been developed by Network for Active Citizens. And these are evidence-based with facts from the community. So we go for the stakeholders dialogues, we have conversations with them. I present a position paper and they are all around, they are invited, the speaker, the host, the councillors, they are in the meeting. But then after presenting, yes, you tell them about these issues where they do not understand. It's been a couple of times, over 3 position papers, and then after, you do not see any feedback. It ends there. Okay. Because probably they do not understand. That's why we need people like us who understand the climate crisis. We can articulate these issues before council to be engaged in the executive meeting. Just in case they cannot articulate those issues, we can be there to support in ensuring, yes. But now if I'm not participating in a budget meeting, because they happen and we are not aware, how will we inform you about that? Yes, we presented position papers and they have not worked because on the issues that we want, you're at council and you can't defend, you can't negotiate, you can't sustain an argument on this particular need that the young people are asking for, because probably you do not have the knowledge that is sufficient enough. But we've done our level best, by the way, as civil society. We've engaged them. So if maybe they should be prioritize this, they are prioritizing other things. Yeah, it's also, yes, they might not understand, but also I appreciate the efforts we put in. Since 2022, I've been in advocacy, engaging with different stakeholders, and they know, mostly the ones of Nakawa division, the councillors know, we've been engaging them. Yeah. So if you do not understand till this point, then really, yeah, but we appreciate that we understand that there is that knowledge gap for them, they do not understand some of these environmental things. Yeah, so also priority should be given to them understanding. Even the ones who are incoming candidates and the ones who want to be councillors, you should get knowledge of these issues. They are really key. They are the ones that we need to work on. Environmental issues. This should be given priority even in this term. Yeah, so if you're coming in, make sure you understand what is affecting the environment, what environment needs are needed. Yeah, surely.
So like you spoke about the policy translation or maybe interpretation, yes, which I can say that all that. But the biggest problem we are still having is that other people that are still saying that these things are just written in English. Exactly. You know, we have a Zungu. Exactly. These are the things for the land. No, they feel like that maybe they're left out. Do you think that the government should interpret all these policies in local language? Yes. And will it work?
Yes. It will definitely work, and it's been one of the challenges that I've seen in the community, because while doing the climate awareness caravans, the sensitizations on climate change, for people to understand the climate crisis, people do not understand English. Mostly people in the grassroots communities, you know, the women, the men have been there, some school dropouts, do not understand like climate change. We need to translate this into local languages. And it's even incumbent on me when I was elected in the Uganda Youth Council. Now I'm in charge of agriculture, water and environmental conservation. So I was elected in 2025, this year actually. So it's my goal to see that all literature that we have in line with climate change, climate action, what communities can do, is translated into Luganda. Now Luganda is really used in Kampala so much by most community dwellers in Kampala city. So I'm going to make sure that I translate this language into Luganda. Even other people that are not, other advocates that are not in Kampala specifically, you can also copy the same. And we make sure that these other community people are not left behind. Because if we are saying just transition, we are transitioning to greener solutions, renewable energy, yeah, alternatives that are helping to conserve the environment, but yet we are leaving out the people who are most affected by the climate crisis, then that is not just. So if it calls on us on putting this into local languages, the languages they understand, it will really play a key role in shaping a sustainable future. Because the people who are most affected with the climate crisis are the people who have the best solution for the crisis. So if we engage them, they are informed about it and how they can also be part of the solution, they will really play a key role. So it's also on me and also government to make sure that the communities understand we shouldn't leave them behind. We really shouldn't leave them behind. Yeah.
All right, then, Winnie, with that, I know that with that you have addressed very many areas with the gaps that the government needs also to address, but also you know that the government also still, you know, face challenges to do with resources. Yeah. And that's why we need people like you, the activists, network for active citizens, who can come in to cover up certain gaps by training, especially the local people that have seen you people involving training last time, the LC1 chairpersons in Kamwanyi, Kawempe, with these areas into this SARS. So now with all these that you're trying like to, you know, to bring out, so what are the possible solutions that you think that the government at least can come up with to help all this, to cap up this issue of policy? Because the issue of policy is still a very big challenge here in Uganda. You've seen from the experience of Chichezi, people are complaining they never knew anything that really governs this, that there is a waste management policy in place. They don't know that there is Luigi people are saying we never knew anything to do with NEMA Act. They don't know that, there were a lot of things.
Yeah.
So what do you think that there are possible solutions that the government can come up with to address all these challenges that they are facing in lines to do with climate change policy?
Yeah, thank you so much, Dickens, for that. So the solutions to this, and I want to also make it emphasize the fact that young people play a key role in shaping the policies of this nation, leading to a sustainable future. If they are left behind, then we are losing it out. So we need meaningful participation of the young people in the decision-making processes. When it comes to budgeting, in the different financial years, we need to be included. We need to be consulted. We need to also share something. Our opinions are really key because we understand. And when we see how the climate crisis has affected the communities, it's the young people most affected and the women. So now if you leave us behind, then it's a gap. So the solution is making sure that the young people are engaged in the decision-making processes, in coming up with the policies, in implementation as well, in monitoring the different policies that are implemented, like the PDM. We desire to be part of the implementers. We desire to be part of the people monitoring and evaluating, and also selecting beneficiaries. Yeah. We should benefit from such models, such policies that are really good, yeah? And then also making sure that there is, of course, I'll also emphasize that priority should be given. Funding priority should be given to initiatives that are green. Green initiatives. When it comes to the waste crisis, the Chitezi saga that we saw, we do not want to have another saga like that. Losing people's lives, it's really so sad. And when people say, no, we can adapt, no, we can't adapt to loss of lives, no. So when it comes to engaging people on understanding what they are supposed to do as a community, helping them understand that the community plays a key role in reducing waste in the community. When you teach a household how to sort the waste, how to segregate the waste, and also provide sacks or bins that they can use, it will initiate action. So even in the policies, the solid waste ordinance, the Kampala climate adaptation strategy, climate change strategy, these should also be brought to the people to understand, like, this is what is happening, this is what you can do as a person. When it comes to climate awareness, government should come out, local government, the different people, the stakeholders should also be part of creating awareness, create awareness on these. These are really policy gaps. Yes, these are their policies on how they can do, but if they are not aware and the influencers are not part, how will you influence the community members to also take action if you're also not taking action? So if they see you join in, for example, we hold community cleanups, we desire to see stakeholders come, National Water, KCCA, different stakeholders, NEMA, come through in the community and help sensitize. So if they see you as well, they will be inspired to take action. If my big leader is taking action, why not me? Yes, that is a gap. And then also government should continuously work with civil society organizations. Let's appreciate them. They are doing what government should be doing, actually. These different policies are being implemented by civil society, yet they are by government. Yeah, when you read the Constitution, Article 245, it talks about environmental conservation, but now if it's government, it's supposed to be implemented as well by government, not just talking about these issues, but also take action on them, coming on ground, create awareness, like the Kampala Climate Action Strategy that talks about climate, and also there's, by the way, it has 3 objectives, and then that objective number 3 talks about helping the people of Kampala to realize that the climate crisis is not just a problem, but to see the solutions in it, on how to see the opportunities in this climate crisis, not just it being a challenge. So not for people not to just lament about the crisis, but also see the opportunities. But how can people see the opportunities in this climate crisis, or the climate change being a challenge? How can they see the opportunity if you're not helping them to see the opportunity? Yes, it's written down by the district, Kampala Climate Change, but then Are you on ground to help them understand the opportunities in climate change? Yes, so government really needs to come on ground. Yes.
All right then, Winnie. All in all, you're trying to tell the viewers that, first of all, the president launched the National Development Plan.
Yeah,
was it last week on 5th
Yes.
of this month? And that's one thing that the young people should go and look into the plans and see opportunities.
Exactly.
Sometimes the government share a lot of opportunities, but because we don't want to read, we don't want certain ties to associate with these government stakeholders to know what's taking place, so that at least by the time you try to break out your ventures, you know that you're protected, you're in a good line, and you're able to tap even resources and to partner with other people, because there are government programs that you can at least engage, like Ministry of Water, Ministry of Energy and Minerals, that you can partner with them to support your cause. You know, so it's really something which is very profound. So without really, that the discussion is so sweet. So let me give Winnie to give our parting shot or our recommendation to the viewers before we go to call this show today. That really, that has been so interesting. The last end.
All right. Thank you so much, Dickens. And my message to the young people viewing and different community members is that we should prioritize self-development. Prioritize self-development. You can never be a solution to the world if you've not been a solution to yourself. From self-development, you learn, you familiarize yourself with the information that is around something you're passionate about, you read about it, network with people in the same field. That's when you can grow in that. So give priority to yourself to grow in those different fields you're in, and mostly the ones in climate action, in environmental conservation, people with innovations in waste management, in renewable energy. So make sure you understand that field. It will really pave way for you. You desire the money, but let not the money be the priority, but make sure knowledge is priority. Be equipped with knowledge, because knowledge is power. Knowledge is influence. Yes. So thank you so much, Dickens, and thank you so much, UCTV, for hosting me. Hopefully next time again.
Wow.
as if I've left out some things. I'm just saying, there are things I've not spoken, but
but you're still here. We are still here to stay. We are still here, to explore this, to digest a lot of things, and we welcome you as part of the family, as part of the, this program is for the activists, is for the stakeholders, non-stakeholders, for everyone in this country to be engaged. That's why the management of UCTV has created this platform and has given us this privilege, so that the young people like you are able to share their voices. So we have always come to the last tail of our show. I want to send a very big shout out to the management and the leadership of Network for Active Citizen, headed by Peniel. Thank you, Peniel, for at least showing out really that you're so passionate about this country by engaging the young people, especially different people, different areas in the ghettos, in the slums, and even I've seen even in West Nile, in Western Uganda, you have reached out. Thank you. Credit goes to your team, to Miriam, to the Winnies, the runners, everyone in the network, in the team for Network for Active Citizen. We want to set really credit to you guys for doing a wonderful job, and bring always young people on board to share their voices and to stand for this Mother Earth. We don't take it for granted, but we really applaud you for that. And also would love to thank Ministry of Water for taking up initiative, for supporting the young people's voices and also influencing the policies. Want to thank you also. We want to say even shout out to NEMA, NFA, Caritas Uganda for really spearheading this movement and championing this cause on behalf of the church here in Uganda. So, without people, we know that this could not happen, but because of your passions and what you see that ahead, the future, that the Mother Earth should be protected by also this young generation and the generation that are coming after us. So, thank you to my producers and to the management of UCTV for making this happen, and also to the biggest fan of this show, the Aminas, the Youth Go Green Fraternity, the Leaf Foundation Fraternity, Global Earth Fraternity, and Earth Movement, the one of Dr. Jibril. So thank you. We have the biggest fan bases all over Uganda, and people have been watching this show even in Europe, in America, and they have been sharing clips, and that's something that really keeps us going, keep us moving. And even we call upon other people, organizations or companies who want to partner with us, who want to advertise with us. We are open. The door is open. Contact us, reach out to us. We can talk, we can share. We give you, things at a discount. We are here to serve. We are here to work hand in hand. As the SDG slogan says, that leave no one behind. So we can't leave you behind, but we want to have you on board so that we keep on moving to see that we have a beautiful part of Africa that is protected. I remain Dickens Ochero, the show host of Environmental Dialogue here at UCTV. Thank you very much. God bless you. See you next week. Bye-bye.
UCTV. Good news for all.